Computer updated. Computer updated.
Let me out.
It hurts. It hurts.
Let me out.
It hurts.
Let me out.
Make it stop.
Let me out.
updated. Computer updated. Computer updated. Computer updated.
Advise, we have a disable and destroy order on enemy central computer.
Computer updated.
Red Leader, this is Alpha Sierra 3-3. We need some ping on the ground for payload. We had a fix on target, but no lock. Establish contact with ground unit. Paint us a clean target. We had a fix on target, but no lock. Re-establish contact with ground unit and paint us a clean target.
Computer updated.
Mother Goose, target is painted in green for box 3. ECM is active and I'm going via for payload delivery.
6, 5, computer updated.